We're going to continue our conversation, though, now about critical race theory because it is that important, and it looks like it could now be infiltrating the United States military. You only have to listen to the words of the Joint Chiefs Chairman Mark Milley describe, quote, white rage as the reason for January 6th protests.
I want to understand white rage, and I'm white, and I want to understand it. So what is it that caused thousands of people to assault this building and try to overturn the Constitution of the United States of America? What caused that? I want to find that out.
So now the military is studying critical race theory, and Milley wholeheartedly defends it. But should we be even surprised? Since Biden took office, the CIA, even NASA, have gone woke. But don't worry. Milley assures us that the latest wokeness is only about understanding the country we are here to defend.
I've read Mao Zedong. I've read Karl Marx. I've read Lenin. That doesn't make me a communist. So what is wrong with understanding, having some situational understanding about the country for which we are here to defend?
Joining me now is Senator Tom Cotton, a member of the Armed Services Committee. Senator, always good to have you on the program. Is what's happening with the military different? And if it is, how so? Then what we're seeing happen with school districts in classrooms across this country?
Well, thanks for having me. What we see in classrooms and school districts is very alarming because schools are trying to indoctrinate young children, sometimes all the way down to kindergarten, that America is a hateful, fundamentally flawed, irredeemable country. And if we allow a generation of our kids to be indoctrinated with those views, then what does it matter if we win a few elections in the years ahead? In the military, it is at best a waste of time to have students in professional military schools or troops out on the front line going through training sessions being exposed to critical race theory concepts. But even further, it helps undermine unit cohesion and morale. You know, when I was in the Army, I can tell you we didn't look at each other through the lens of race or background or your last name or who your parents were. We looked at each other as battle buddies, comrades in arms who had signed up to fight for our country and were willing to die for the country and for the man and woman to our right and left and front and rear. And what really caused me to dig deeper into this is I've got a lot of friends who are still in the service, and they started reaching out to me a couple months ago with some of the trainings they were facing as a result of Secretary Austin's so-called stand-down order. Mm-hmm. And since then, Congressman Crenshaw and I have been getting a lot of complaints, hundreds of complaints about these training sessions. That's one reason why I've pressed Secretary Austin on it. Earlier this week, I pressed the Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral Gilday, about it as well. The Army and our military as a whole needs to focus on real wars, not on culture wars.
You know, Senator, I like how you distinguish indoctrination from education. Milley suggests, by the way, that we're only educating ourselves and our Army when we look into critical race theory. He says, as you heard there, that I've read Mao Zedong, and that doesn't make me a communist. I need to understand the ideologies that are presented to us, some of whom could be our enemy. But the problem is, it seems like what's going on with the military is less about education and more about, as you pointed out, indoctrination. I want you to take a look at this ad from the United States Army.
It begins in California with a little girl raised by two moms. And I also marched for equality. I like to think I've been defending freedom from an early age. And after meeting with an Army recruiter, I found it. A way to prove my inner strength and maybe shatter some stereotypes along the way.
That's a United States Army recruiting ad right there, Senator. So when I look at that, I worry what we're doing, and I hope I'm wrong. You also served in the United States Senate. I hope I'm wrong, but what I see there from a distance is what appears to be not education, but indoctrination.
Yeah, and that's what we've heard from the frontline troopers, you know, the young privates, the sergeants who are the backbone of our military, officers who oftentimes are involved in having to conduct these training sessions, in some cases very much against their wishes. You know, again, there's always a place, for instance, in college campuses to include our service academies to say, read Karl Marx in a class on the history of Western thought. When it comes down to training sessions for our frontline troops, they need to be taught to respect everyone, irrespective of their race or their sex or their ethnicity or their religious creed or their political views. Treat them with equal dignity and respect, period. And then they need to get back to tactical excellence and operational training so we can perform at the highest levels and our troops can be ready to fight in whatever kind of circumstances they might face.
All right, Senator Tom Cotton, thank you for joining us tonight here on the program.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.